It is a beautiful spring day. The birds are chirping, the bees are out, the sun is out, it's 70 degrees. It's perfect. So today I thought I'd give you a tour of my garden. My name is Michelle. I live in Northern Illinois. I am in Zone 5. I own a garden center, but today we're at my house because I have gardens at my house and I thought maybe you'd like to see them. Now I'm going to preface this by saying that it was a really super cold spring. It's just now warming up, so things are just starting to wake up. And I have gardens just like you. There are weeds in my gardens, and there are things in my gardens that need to be moved, and there are things in my garden that don't look good, and there are things in my garden that look great. Now, I didn't do anything to get ready for this. I just went, you know what, let's go do a garden tour. Now, as we progress through the season, the reason that you're here is because you want to learn about gardening. So we're going to be doing things in these gardens as well as gardens at the store, and we're going to be creating some new gardens, and then we're going to be talking about like how to renovate a garden that you already have, or some tips and tricks to make things last longer, bloom better, or whatever it is. My station is all about gardening, whether it's annuals, perennials, landscaping, vegetables, herbs. We do it all. And we have different videos at different times of the year that talk about different things. So come along with us on this gardening journey. If this is your first time here, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you are somebody that's returning, please subscribe down below. Share with your friends, make comments. I'm starting to get more and more comments. I love it. And if you have a gardening problem, I'd love to try and help you with it. I don't know everything, but I think I know a lot. I've been doing this for a long time. I've been gardening since I was like 5. I was a landscaper for 15 years. I've designed landscapes, and I own a garden center. I do a lot of teaching for the University of Illinois Extension, and I do my volunteer hours with them as in an educational capacity. So, with that, let's get started on the tour. Okay, so we're going to start in the front yard and we're going to work our way around. So I'll be right back and we'll start the tour. Okay, I have a covered porch and we're actually going to do a video on decorating the porch because I know that I am always looking for ways to decorate my porch. So I thought I would do a video and decorate mine and maybe give somebody else an idea of how to decorate theirs. So this is the view from my porch. It was the very first bed that I put in. It's about 3 years old, and I've had to take some things out because they went crazy and got too big. Now, this bed is 100% heavy clay. I didn't amend it in any way, shape, or form. I just cleared the grass, I tilled it, and then I planted it. I put this little walkway through the middle so I can go over to my barn area here. It's not really a barn, it's a big shed. And then I have planted things in here, and I have more things that I want to add because I actually pulled things out. So as you can see here, I have boxwoods. These are the winter gems, and they haven't been pruned yet because we've still had some cold nights. But these are the winter gem boxwoods. And then I've just got some of those plain Jane white hostas. I actually got these from my dad's house. I just dug them up and brought them over here. So these are just the white edged hostas. Over here, these are the start of some white cone flowers. And then we've got a bird's nest spruce here, a yew that needs serious pruning. That's an everlow. And then on the other side of that, we have another bird's nest spruce. Then we've got some more hostas and a beautiful sand cherry right here. Isn't that gorgeous? It's in bloom right now. I love the purple foliage. I love the flowers on it. Absolutely gorgeous. When this is done, we will be pruning this into a different shape. We're going to have it kind of like look like a small tree. So we're going to be pruning out everything from the bottom, reshaping the top, and when we're done, it'll look like a little tree. So when I do that, I'll do a video for that. All right, then we've got our ginkgo tree here, which it's super late to get its flowers, its leaves, but see, it's all budded up. Now, when I first bought this tree was supposed to be this little miniature, which is what you see, this first trunk here, and it comes out, and then the graft that it was grafted on started to grow. And there it is. Yeah, this was supposed to be this little mini tree. So I think I'm actually going to dig this tree out this year, and I'm going to move it into a different part and put something else there instead. So this one's going to get too big for this area. All right, then over here we have a Weigela right here. This is a, I can't remember the name of it, but it's got these beautiful variegated leaves on it, and then it gets a pretty pink flower on it. Over here, we've got our quick fire hydrangeas, and these are the ones that we pruned in a video. And as you can see, these two are a lot smaller because there was a lot of winter damage because I hit them with the plow. This one I didn't prune back quite as severely because it didn't get damaged. And then down here on the end we have a Baptisia, and this one gets blue. So the bed kind of curves around like that. All right, then we've got some ornamental grasses here, one here and one here. And then we've got some spireas that I think died on me. I don't think they're coming back. So I'll be pulling those out and putting something else in their place. We've got a nice patch of iris here. And they actually, when they're done blooming, we're going to be thinning this patch out and moving some of these someplace else. This is our weeping Norway spruce. It's doing really well. I like the shape of it. I like how it looks. And this is our limelight hydrangea. We did a heavy prune on this one as well. Then we've got our white pine here. And then here we've got some black-eyed Susans that I need to dig out. They just get too big and they hang over the sidewalk. So we're going to be moving those into our cottage garden. And then we've got some yarrow right here starting. As we continue along, we've got some daisies here. And you'll find with daisies can be short-lived. These are going on their third year and they're already starting to thin out. And then I have different kinds of sedum that flank the walkway as you go through the walkway. All right, then over here we've got a Hudson Bay hosta. And then we've got, oh, look, there's a seed. That's a volunteer. That's another echinacea, or no? Yep, that's an echinacea. It just plopped in there from a seed. And then over here we have some Nepeta. That's the Walker's Low. And then I have a little coral bell here that's struggling. So I don't think the coral bells like the heavy clay. I'm struggling with them in a couple places. I might have to amend some soil and put those in different beds. This here is our Zagreb Coreopsis. That's all through here. Got a nice big thistleweed in there. I'd get down there and pull that right now, except I don't have a pair of gloves on. And I can see a few dandelions in here too that I need to pluck out of here before they set seed. I've got a whole bunch of yellow yarrow back here. This is the Coronation Gold. And then here, these are the purple asters called Purple Dome. Then we come over here and I've got some variegated sedum here. These are called thunder clouds. See, look, I have weeds too. Look, there's some thistle. I need to get it out of there. I've got some white shepherd daylilies along the edge here. I've got some heliopis along the back that grows. And then I've got this beautiful, I think this is a pink beauty peony. So that's this bed. And then it leads out into my dandelion filled yard. Isn't that great? When I moved in, this whole area right there was a garden. I think the person who lived here before us, he was retired, and that's all he did was garden from sun up to sundown. So we have quite the dandelion field going on. It's too windy to spray today, so we're going to actually be spraying tomorrow. That's why my grass is long, because you don't want to mow the grass and then spray because you don't get as much coverage, and you want to spray them while they're blooming. All right, then we come over here and we've got this beautiful Korean Spice Viburnum right here. And one of the reasons why I'm going to be pruning this up is to make more room for this. And this is just getting ready to open, and this has the best fragrance on it. They are just absolutely gorgeous and they smell great. Now here we've got some empty spaces because I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do. This is the north side of my house, so it's not a very long bed, and we have some boxwoods here. These are just the winter gems again. And then we've got some Rieger hostas here, and this one is just starting to come up. This one is called Striptease, and these are fairly large hostas. Then I've got an oak leaf hydrangea here, and then we've got our Sambuca here, or an elderberry. And I'll let this one bloom, and then we will prune it down because these can get 10 to 12 feet. It gets these pretty white flowers on it, so I'll let it bloom. Then we come around to the back and we've got some bleeding hearts, and these actually came from my friend, all three of these. I've got one there, it's a white, and then I have this pretty pink, and look at these beautiful flowers on there. Aren't those just so delicate and beautiful? And then I have another white one over here. Look at that, isn't that great? Aren't those beautiful? So these came from my friends, Bev and Frank, and when I got them, they were like this big. They gave me like 6, but only 3 made it, so that was pretty cool. And then here we have an Incredible blush. So this gets the big Incredible hydrangeas on it. Then we've got 3 astilbes here that really look good now, but I'll probably have astilbe shame later because I do such a horrible job keeping them watered, and they like water. And then we've got some lungwort right here, and this is called Bertram Anderson. And as you can see, it's got these beautiful pink flowers on it right now. And when it's done, I'll end up cutting the flowers off, and then I'll be left with this beautiful foliage. My lady's mantle is right here. And again, the lady's mantle will grow. And look at when it has water on the leaves. See how it kind of balls up on there? Isn't that cool? It's going to get the yellow flowers on it. And then when that's all done, I'll cut it in half. And it will come back and flush new growth and look great the rest of the season. Then as we come through here, okay, I got my hose here. I haven't hooked up any of my hoses yet. And then I've got lamium that's growing throughout my hosta bed. So I've got some hosta here. I've got sub and substance. I don't know the name of every hosta in here. I'd have to think about it. Got a beautiful elderberry here. This one's called Lemony Lace. And then we come around down here. We got 3 more boxwoods. Some more lamium for ground cover that I'm trying to get to grow in. And then this whole bed in here, these are all hostas coming up. And some of them come up sooner than others, but all different kinds in here. And then I'll go through and I'll plant some other fun things in here as well. Got to come in. I've got I see some dandelions in here. But you can see we've already cut a nice clean edge on the bed. And so it comes around this way. And so I'm in the shade right now. And then I've got a bed right here that I'm not finished with my walkway. I'm going to line it with rocks and then fill in between the flagstone. But here we just had some daffodils that just finished blooming. And then here you can see my little baby Lenten rose right there. Isn't that cute? My only one. I've got some cool season grass starting right here. This is the Overdam. Okay, and then we've got this is a pink knockout rose right here. And we just cut them back like a week ago. We've got a Bobo hydrangea right here. And see how little everything is? Here's our alliums. Oh, there's a little dandelion in there. And then if you raise up here, see now this bottom part of the bed we plant out. And in it right now we've got some salvia and some nepeta. And then down here we've got some Japanese ferns and some hostas. And then the upper part is my herb garden. And then I do have a big hosta right there. I have to move it. It's getting way too much sun and it's burning up. So I have to dig that one up and move it. And we'll do a video next week on transplanting things. Then we come along over here. These are my red knockout roses here. And as you can see, they're just starting to get new growth on them. So those are the knockout roses. This is our Hakanakloa grass. And what I did was I put this stack stone in here and then I threw compost behind it to plant them. I've got a bug bane here. And then here I've got 3 viburnums. And these are the Alfredos. They're a dwarf, so they don't get quite as big. But my goal was to kind of create a screen from this road over here. So as we come up this area here, you can see that it's lined with maple trees here. I've got a crimson king here, and then I've got a red maple, and then I've got a sugar maple. So I get helicopters. How fun is that? Yep, I get those. All right, this is where I like to sit and have coffee. This bed here is fairly new. I just put it in. It's going into its 3rd year. So here we have a hydrangea that hasn't really started to grow. It's called Pistachio. I actually think I might have to move it. Last year I didn't get any flowers on it. I don't think it's getting enough sun. So I think I'm going to take it out and put something else in its place. But here we've done a play on the different color coral bells. Here we've got the tiramisu and the Palace purple. Then we've got some Korean feather reed grass growing back here. I love this. It gets these beautiful champagne colored plumes on it. Then we've got a Tough Stuff mountain hydrangea right here. And this one did really good last year. I liked it. Now these boxwoods are sprinters. And so they didn't really brown. I didn't get any browning on them whatsoever over the winter. And they have this nice, soft, bright green foliage. And I do like them. They're not as stiff as the winter gems, but I do like them. This is another oak leaf hydrangea here. So we didn't prune it back at all. That's why it's still got some leaves on it here from last year, because you don't prune them back. Oak leaf hydrangeas you leave. All right, then we've got a Patriot hosta starting here. We've got another Palace purple coral bell and another Korean feather reed grass. Here we've got another Incrediball. This one is just the white. And then we've got June hostas, more sprinter boxwoods, and then another oak leaf hydrangea down here with more Korean feather reed grass. So this bed kind of repeats itself all the way down. But what we do is we take bowls of impatiens all the way down here and fill it in with one color. We do a really spectacular planter on the bench. And then I have these square planters that we do down the sidewalk. And those are filled with the Proven Winner Coleus. And then we do 2 pots flanked right here. Now this is my driveway bed. This is probably my newest bed. And again, this one has hostas. It's got the Proven Winner Hudson Bays in here, some lemon leaf, elderberries, some more hostas. Now these are the fruit punch hydrangeas, and I'm hoping that they're going to get enough height on them. And these are sprinter boxwoods. So my goal was that I was going to create a hedge right here, and I think I need to add probably 2 more and create this hedge along the edge. And then the next layer was going to be these fruit punch hydrangeas, and then have other things behind it. Now this bed needs some serious dandelion work because I can see it underneath the mulch popping back through. All through here we have the Liatris cobalts. We've got some alliums over here. This is our beautiful Jane magnolia. I love this magnolia because it blooms a little bit later than some of the other magnolias, and it holds on to its flowers a little bit longer. Now this one is pretty done. You can see that the flowers are pretty done, you know, but there's still a few here that look good. I just like the shape of this too. And then on the outside edge we have sedum through here. And then we've got some more sedum here, black-eyed Susans, and then different colored daylilies through here. And then another Woodgillia right in the middle. So this is this bed right here. So those are all the beds that are kind of around the house. And then we have a couple that we started around the barn or the shed. I don't know what you want to call it. Okay, so this is my big shed. And so I just put this paver platform in here last year. So I did this in the fall. And one of the things that we're going to be doing is creating a little cottage garden right here. And then we're going to create another one right here. So we'll move the bricks and whatnot. And that's like a collapsed pool that I didn't get put away. That's probably garbage now. But then in this area here, we did get this all planted all the way down and around. And we did hibiscus here with nepeta in front of it. And then in the middle, in between, we've got some beautiful phlox. And now we've just got a major weed mess over here. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting a patio in here with a fire pit. And we're going to kind of create like a little secret garden in here. So we've got some arborvitaes in here. And I don't know, I'm going to fertilize them because I planted the same ones out here to keep my screen going to separate the store from our property. And those did really well, but these have a lot of browning on them. So I'm not quite sure what happened. I watered them in really well, but they have a lot of browning on them. So we're going to fertilize them up and see what happens and see if we can salvage them. But then we'll be coming through here and we'll be doing a patio in here and then some more planting throughout. We got a service berry right here, a peach rose there, some of the denim and lace. What am I thinking? Russian sage in here. These are the little pencil point junipers. Then I got this pretty tulip tree that I put in right here, surrounded it with nepeta, veronica, and then some alliums. So, and then we put this border up to kind of separate it out. So this is kind of a work in progress over here, and you'll see us continue to work this area. And I kind of left it this messy on purpose because you know what? Some of you might have areas like this or worse, or maybe better, who knows? But we're going to do this together. And so I'm going to show you kind of what I do to prep a garden, design the garden, and put it together. We're going to be laying the patio. We're going to be putting in the cottage garden. So we're going to be doing that together. Won't that be fun? So that ends my tour of my gardens today. And I know it's just spring and everything's a baby and no pots are done. I haven't decorated my porch or done anything like that. But I will, and we'll get there. And you guys can come along with me. And I'll teach you everything I know as I go along. So that's all I got for today. Hold on. Okay, there we go. So I can at least end it face to face. I'm Michelle. I live in Northern Illinois Zone 5. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for our next video. We'll be gardening all summer long, doing all kinds of fun things. And I hope you join us on our journey. Have a great day. Keep on gardening. We'll see you in the next video. Bye now.